Okay, so episode 2, or I don't know, what do you call it?
Part 2.
Part 2 maybe, we'll go with part 2. Okay, so part 2 of the very, very budget electric vehicle conversion. We've been out spending money again, which is very counterproductive when we're trying not to. We've spent £1,000 on a battery pack from a BMW 330e. That's a 7.7 kilowatt hour battery pack. Using the basic knowledge that's on the internet, it would suggest that we should get 3.5 to 4 times that as range. So we're looking at around 7.7 times 3.5 to 4. Anyone do the maths? I'm going for about 30. We'd be really happy with 30, but if it's 20, we're not that bothered on the Mini. We just want to have something electric driving as cheap as possible. The battery pack comes fully sealed, and we've stripped that down. Didn't take any videos because we didn't think about that at the time, but we've got lots of photos, so we'll make a slideshow and stick that in for you. It's a lovely engineered battery box. There's no arguing, BMW know what they're doing. What we've got from the pack, it's a 330e pack, so we've got 5 60 volt modules giving a total of 300 volts. That's perfectly fine for all the Outlander gear that we previously purchased, so we're happy with that. You can pick up a 5 series pack for not much more money, which will come with 6 modules, 360 volts, and that increases your range. But on this one, we're cheap as possible, so we've gone for 5. Okay, so you've got your second-hand battery pack that you bought for £1,000 off eBay or wherever. How do you know what condition that battery pack is in? The first thing that crossed my mind was, I've got no way of telling if this is a duff and I spent £1,000 on scrap, or it's a good pack. After doing a bit of research, I came across some software. It's open source software, so it's free to download and use, created by a guy called Tom Debris. The software is called SimBMS. Now you can buy a SimBMS module, that's the easy way to do things, or easier way to do things, or you can source some hardware and create your own version of the hardware, which is a lower cost. So obviously on this project, lower cost, that's what we're going to do. So what you need is a Teensy 3.2, which is a super small little computer. You need a couple of resistors, a couple of capacitors, a CAN transceiver, and all that goes together on a breadboard like you used to use I used to use back at school in the design technology days. A few jumper wires and you're good to go. On the BMW battery packs, they have these modules on the end called CSC modules. Now they attach to the cell wires on the battery and spit out the information relating to the condition of the battery. They transmit the information on a CAN bus network, and that's where the SimBMS code is very clever. It reads the CAN bus network data and translates that into the information that would tell us the condition of the battery pack. So we hooked all that up, plugged it into the laptop, ran the code. As you can see, we've got all 5 modules are present. That's a very good positive start. We could see the total voltage of the pack. That's about what we expected. And then the delta voltage tells us the variance in voltages across all the individual cells within the batteries. That's an important indication as to the condition of the battery pack. 7 millivolts is more than enough. Oh, no, you want less, not more. 7 millivolts is an acceptable number. And that means we're happy that the pack is in good condition. Also included within the battery pack is this special box called an S-box. And since it's included with that box, we like the idea of not spending any more money. We'll use that. Alongside that, we've obviously got all the bus bars included. Now making bus bars yourself gets to be an expensive game. When BMW have made these very nice ones that fit their battery modules perfectly, it makes sense to reuse the bus bars as much as possible. Likewise, the main connector. It's a nice unit, nice safety features. We'll use this rather than spending £100 plus on a high voltage connector to go in our custom battery box. We're also going to use the standard BMW blow-off valve. This allows gas and air to escape from the battery box, but doesn't allow gas and air to enter the battery box. It's a safety precaution that not many people have been using, it seems, but now it's getting used more and more often. It would be really nice if we could reuse the case of the battery box, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. So we'll be making a custom battery box to house these modules in the rear of the Mini. Thanks very much for watching. As usual, if you could like, share, follow, subscribe, all massively appreciated. Look out for part 3, that's coming soon. I think we're probably going to do how we actually fit the motor physically into the Mini in part 3. But that's subject to change depending on how things go in the workshop. Thank you.